It's my fourth day in Athens, and so far I've met some really cool people. I think that's one thing that I'm really blessed to have is some good connections out here that introduced me to other people, and then it kind of just like I'm hands off from there, and I've met great people. They show me around a little bit, and it's been a good experience so far. Just seeing the city over here and embracing a little bit of their culture. Everything has been going very smooth, and I appreciate the people that I've had the opportunity of meeting here so far, and that has helped me navigate the city because I was really lost when I first got here. I was alone, and I was like kind of scared to go out and go to places like go to restaurants, especially by myself. Like I'm still scared to go to restaurants by myself right now, and I haven't really, gained the confidence to do so. I have more confidence going out or ordering food like to my place. That's something I've been real comfortable with doing instead of just stepping out there. Everybody's speaking a different language. I'm scared like if I talk to somebody, they're gonna be like they're not gonna understand me. So I remember talking to my delivery driver yesterday, and he's like speaking Greek, and I'm like, "Do you know English?" And I just had to come to the door and get my food. So far, things have been going smooth. I've really been enjoying my alone time and the peace that I've had, just being by myself and just getting to know me more and building a good relationship with God, of course, because I know that's, what I have by my side. Um, it's been kind of tough reaching out to my family. I have them on WhatsApp, and I got a SIM card here. So I'm able to communicate with them, but we're in completely different time zones. So it's kind of tough to communicate when the time zones are different. By the time I'm going to sleep, they're waking up going to work. So I've been trying to wait until like 9 or 10 p.m. in order to reach out. So I had talked to my sisters the other day, and we had a good conversation. So hopefully that'll get better. I'm still dealing with jet lag, so I'm sleeping a lot more than well, it feels like I'm sleeping a lot more than I'm used to. But I think I'll adjust to jet lag probably the next coming days. I thought it would be like the third day I was here, but once it strikes certain times, I'm like knocked out. Like I'll be ready to go to sleep. One thing I've been working on is gaining more confidence. And I remember before I had left to Greece, I had wrote down a couple of things that I wanted to work on and that I wanted to fix with myself and something I wanted to dive deeper in. So building more confidence was one of the things that I wanted to do. And just looking at the past life that I've had and the things that I've experienced, you would think that, outside looking in, I was a very confident person, but internally I really wasn't. Like there's a lot of things that I felt like I needed to work on, and nobody's perfect, but confidence is just something I've really struggled with. I always felt like I was being judged, or I didn't fit the mold, or it's just a weird situation when it comes to confidence. But the things I've been doing to gain confidence and the things that have helped me in the past was working out and just building a body that I'll appreciate, reading more books when it comes to self improvement. Reading great books about self improvement have changed my perspective, and those have taken me a long way because once you change your perspective on things, you can kind of pull it out later on in the future when you think about dealing in this search when you're in a situation to where, oh, like I remember this book said this at this time. So you kind of like the books are stored in your memory. So it's really good for you when you read self improvement books because it's just another perspective from a person that you never met. And I think that's the beauty of it. Building my relationship with God has been one of my priorities while I was out here, which I said in the past videos. And that has helped my confidence big time as well. At some points in the past, I've looked in the mirror and just have not even recognized myself. and just felt so sorry for myself, which I don't want you to be in that same position. The steps that I'm taking to improve my confidence is something that I have taken slow over time. So I would say to take steps towards building confidence. Don't just go all in like, oh, I need to build confidence. I need to start reading. I need to do this. I need to do that. With anything, I would say just take steps, take it slow. You know what you need to work on. That's where you start off. Know what you need to work on, write those things down, and then perfect it from there. I was reading my devotional today, and one of the things I was talking about was bouncing back from the hard times in your life and some of the things that you can think about and reflect on that will help you. And that really struck me because anytime something bad happens in my life, I think that it's like there's no recovering from this, or it's just like this might be the end of the world for me. You get stuck in that mindset to where it feels like this is the end, but it's not. And when you think in the past and you reflect on things that you've overcome, you see that you have made it out of those situations, but it took those hard times to get you to that point. So the hard times can be a good thing, because when you get out of the hard times, you have grown so much, you've improved so much, and you can see that when you reflect. It's not good to always look in the past, but when you look in the past at the things that you learned from, that's where you benefit. And that's where you can look into the now and perfect the things that you want to perfect. That really stuck with me. And another thing is like having doubts and worries about my future, being that I am here in a foreign country and I had no plan and I didn't know really what I wanted to do. There's so much doubt and worry going through my head, and I can sometimes get caught up in that, and I want to get out of that mindset. And I just have to know that giving it up to God is something that will help me overcome, because He's going to take care of your doubts and worries. He's going to take care of you, period. All throughout my life in the past, I've been taken care of by God. I didn't necessarily thank Him on those during those times, which I should have, but I realize now how much He's done for me in the past and how much I've grown from there. I believe what helps doubts and worries is really putting in action to whatever you want to do. When you put forth action into the things that you want to go after, you really don't have the time to think about, worrying. You're already working towards something that you really want to get to. So when you put action behind anything that you want to do or anything that you want to go after, that it kind of thins out the amount of worry and doubt that you'll have in your head. The thing that I feel can get rid of having doubts and worries is communicating with somebody that supports you, whether it be your family member or a close friend, and somebody that will kind of encourage you, because sometimes you need that encouragement and that clarity. So speaking of these things, one of the last things I really want to talk about is just loving myself. And that's something that's another thing that I was working on when I came out here that I wrote down. And loving yourself can go a long way. And some of the things that can really help you love yourself more is having mindfulness. And I think this sits at the top, because having that mindfulness, just really focusing on the present and just observing your thoughts. And when you observe your thoughts, you can kind of make your own judgments from there. And I remember reading a book about focusing on the present moment and focusing on the now, and having mindfulness was such an important thing, because when you observe your thoughts, you can see what you need to improve on. You can see, like, okay, why do I think like this? You can wonder a little bit, like, why do I think about this, or why do I think about that? And just observe them, because it's important to be mindful so that you know and you're more attuned to the things that you need in your life. And as I said before, focusing on your fitness and focusing on your health are so important, because the more you do that, the more there's so many things that you improve just from working out, because it puts you in this very uncomfortable state. in a short amount of time, and then you improve your confidence, you improve your clarity, you improve so much things. And that fits in that category of just being mindful and just loving yourself even more. Another thing on loving yourself is forgiving yourself. So, in order to love yourself, I feel like you need to forgive yourself more. When you look back in the past, of course, there's some things that you don't really appreciate that you did, or you don't really like how you were as a person at that time period. But it's so important to forgive yourself for those times and move on from it. Because if you can't, you'll hold on to that trauma, and it kind of blocks you from having more love for yourself. There's a lot of things that I regretted doing or that I just didn't like about myself back then, but I had to learn to forgive myself or forgive a certain person if it was dealing with a relationship or something like that. One thing that I knew that I needed to work on to love myself more was setting healthy boundaries. And setting healthy boundaries was just learning how to say no. I'm a very kind person, so learning how to say no is a tough task for me at times. All in all, I will continue to document my journey for you and show you what I'm up to on a day-to-day basis.